Hello YouTube, this is an alcohol review of Jefferson's Ocean Cask Strength Single Barrel. According to the label, straight bourbon whiskey, barrel number 242, bottle number 025, big deal, alcohol by volume. Remember, this is cask strength. So, here are the numbers. Alcohol by volume, 60.2, making it a proof of 120.4 proof. Typically, I draw the line at 100. It's too much burn for my palate, destroys my nose. It's a mess. It is a mess. I'm a simple man of lower proof. That's all this is. Don't hold it against me. So this being a 120.4 proof at a 750 ml bottle is well outside of my range. I received this as, a gift, and I'm giving it a try. I wanted you guys to, hear my review on this. So yes, cask strength, single barrel, straight bourbon whiskey, 60% alcohol, 60.2% alcohol by volume, also known as 120.4 proof. The story of Jefferson's Oceans, in case you do not know, which is no big deal, is that the Jefferson's Distilling Company, I believe that's what it is, Jefferson's Bourbon Company, Crestwood, Kentucky, wanted to know if there was a difference between bourbons now versus bourbons then, back in the day. Well, they tried to figure out, using the same recipe as back then, what is the difference? And they realized the difference is in shipping. Weird, I understand, that they would pick shipping as a factor. But the thing is, they realized that in modern day, where they would take the bourbon and put it into sanitized steel shipping and transport it via truck or whatever it is, or not ship it at all, they would just be on grounds where it would just pretty much stay on site, bottled, and then go. But back in the day, they would put it in the barrels, age it in the barrels, and then ship it in the barrels. Would this be a factor? So they decided to put onto an actual sailing ship. I believe my mind's eye gives it as a schooner, but I really don't know for certain. But it is in a sailing ship, and off they went with it. And the rise and fall of the waves in the ocean and everything else. And this little bugger went from Kentucky, Georgia, really, the port in Georgia, down through the Panama Canal, over to the Philippines, looped around, back through the Panama Canal, back to to Georgia, and off, went to wherever it needed to go for bottling, and off to the middle of the belly of the nation where I'm located. And turns out that time is spent in the cask, sloshing around due to the waves of the ocean and the temperature fluctuations of being out at sea in a not temperature controlled storage area, plays a huge role in the flavor, because the barrels expand, it opens the pores, the bourbon seeps into it, then it gets cold, it squeezes it back out again, and you get all these different flavors that kind of wash in, rather than just having surface contact with the bourbon in the barrel. So, Oceans, this branch of it's just a normal regular bourbon they make. It's just shipping that is the factor. Oceans is just one of my all-time favorites. I did try the next rung above that, and that would be Jefferson's Tropics. It's Mom always said, don't say anything if you can't say anything nice. So let us move on from my feelings of Jefferson's Tropics. So, never had the cask strength single barrel. Like I said, got his gift, giving it a try, and since I've been sipping on it, as you can tell, here we are. So, it is a beautiful, dark caramel with splashes of yellow in it. Now, in case you don't know, and like I said, no fault if you know, what makes cask strength different than regular stuff? Well, there is this stupid misconception that if you take a dram of bourbon or whiskey, you add a little bit of water to it, oh, you're watering it down. Real men don't water down their alcohol, and so forth and so on. Well, what happens is, back to the storage area, they get to the cask, and before they put it in to be bottled, and filtered and bottled, whatever the process is, they water it down. They water it down because due to the laws of the nation and or the state that it's in, it cannot have an alcohol level exceeding, an ABV exceeding blank line. So they water it down to get it down to that line. It also helps fatten the barrels back up again because you get a lot in the angel share as well as the devil's cut, which is evaporation, angel share, devil's cut, absorption into the wood. So the water kind of helps replenish so the distillery can get more out of it. Cask strength is, I assume it's a loophole that they can find somewhere, fill it whatever form it is, and you can go and sell it at cask strength, but it's straight from the barrel, the cask, into, filtering and then into the bottle. I'm sure you don't want chunks of wood that goes into it that may flake off, but yeah, you have an idea what I'm talking about. So that's cask strength. This is what it is if you opened up the bung and just start filling your glass up. This is what you get, cask strength. That's why it's at 120.4 rather than a customary 100 that burns the out of my tongue. So there we go. Boy, had a chance to breathe as I've been nipping off of it before I started this review, which is running long. There's hardly any of those. You get, oh my goodness, vanilla and caramel. Early on, there's a lot of fruit notes, but right now, it's like I said, it's been breathed for a while. A lot of that alcohol has gone off. There was only a hint of bite to begin with, and now there's almost none. They get on the nose, but the rest of it is like heavy vanilla, caramel, bits of stone fruit here and there, the customary. Mouthfeel is a tinge heavy. On syrupy is barely, I should say, barely syrupy is, barely. That's because obviously they didn't water it down like past ones. It does have the burn, but weirdly, no bite to it. So you feel like you've swallowed a bunch of fire, but nothing is just ripping your tongue apart like knives. Very odd. I expect a lot of bitter because of that ethanol. There's hardly any at all. It's there as a foundation, but it's not an overwhelming like I get in 9 out of 10 different high alcohol level bourbons. This is just right at the right spot. It doesn't become obtrusive. The caramel is there. The stone fruit and other fruit notes really are lost in the bottom. Lots of vanilla. And a lot of smoke flavor to it. Lots of smoke flavor to it. So if you like your, double oak and that sort of type of bourbons to it, this would satisfy you greatly. At 120 proof, I know I keep harping on that, but at that level, I would expect, like I said, harsher. I would expect, I'm almost through my dram, well, halfway through my dram, to start, and you don't really get any kind of that alcohol. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to not feel my legs. That doesn't come into play, at least until I stand up. We'll find out then. Excuse me, but so it's very deceptive on that part. Smooth, if you will. I would not ever put this into a cocktail. The price tag of it. So I got this as a gift. And, from the missus, and yeah, she's like, you don't want to know how much you paid for it. I'm like, yeah. And no, I don't want to know how much you paid for it. How much you paid for it. It comes out of my bank account somehow. But anyways, point is, so don't waste it on sugary, soft drink additives or fruit or what. No, sip it. It's meant for that. Sip it in small amounts, stretch it out. At least that's my miserly advice, which is kind of obvious. But beautiful nose, nice mouthfeel, just like I said, it's tinge heavy. Everything you'd expect. Now, I was just saying, just get a little bit long on the palate with all that smoke. It does get a little over, just starting to kind of mount onto itself. Now, is this the best ever? I kind of prefer the regular Oceans, and that is, to me, one of the best bourbons I've ever had. Does this mean all high dollar bourbons are that good? No, not even any stretch of the imagination. If you see a bourbon and you're like, oh wow, oh my goodness, I'm not about to pay that. Yeah, don't worry, you're probably not missing out on much. One of my most all-time favorite go-to standby is like under $20. And it's like head and shoulder above some of the most expensive ones I've ever had. Except for the regular Jefferson's Ocean, which is the one that's just above it. So this single barrel probably rivals the cheap stuff that I appreciate it as much as possible. So yeah, it is excellent. I won't even call it good. I will call it absolutely excellent. This is probably number 3 on my list. Regular Oceans is number 1. Redneck Riviera, that's the cheap one I was mentioning earlier. That's number 2 because of the price point of it. And this guy makes number 3. It's because of the very, very strong flavors. This is not a summer. This is a definite winter. Okay? Sitting there watching the snowfall. This is that time of year. By the fireside, sitting there looking at the flames go, and just, right, and with a pipe in the other hand, right? That sort of thing. That's where this falls into play. After dinner? No. This is before you go to bed. This is, you're closing the day. That's when this stuff will reign supreme. So yeah, it's good. it's very good. So there you go. If any of you guys have tried this, I hope you agree with that. If you haven't tried it, save up your pennies. It's worth getting 2 bottles. Why 2 bottles? Bottle 1 to try it. Bottle 2 to keep on the shelf and not to touch unless somebody dies, or they better be somebody you really care about who's died to celebrate their life. That's about all. So it'll sit there and gather dust, and it'll be worth it when, that sort of thing. But there you go. Jefferson's Ocean Cask Strength Single Barrel. So cannot recommend it enough. And hopefully that's, it's just, like I said, my biggest complain about it is the price point. But then again, I am a working man, so every dollar counts. Hell, every quarter counts. Almost every dime counts. No. Every dime counts. And yeah, there you go. Until next time, keep on drinking.